Ersin.
Hi,
What a great pleasure.
Great pleasure to
How
see
you doing?
you too.
Thank you for taking a few moments here to have a conversation with me. I guess this is actually our real first meeting, so tell me a little bit about why you opened this magical place, because I have to say I didn't know something like this existed. I've been fasting for numerous years. I've been very interested in it in regards to, I think I've always kept a little bit of an eye out for what's going on with alternative ideas about treatment of cancer and chronic disease, but more so as a very superficial, more personal level. How am I going to extend my life? How am I going to be sure that I'm not going to be falling short of some of the diseases that society and everybody has told me I might be predisposed to have, which now I know isn't the case. But I was sort of coming here to drink water, and a lot of my friends said, why are you going to Thailand? I'm like, well, I can go to Thailand, the weather's great, you know, why not? And I heard a lot of people that have been on certain detoxes feeling sorry for themselves, laying about, etc. That's not what happened here. So tell me why that's not what happened here.
You know, I'm coming from business side, so I retired myself at the age of 46.
That's my age.
Yeah, I retired myself.
Congratulations.
It was 2002.
Yeah.
By chance, a friend of mine, like yourself, said, Ersin, maybe you should have a different experience. And he sent me to a place called Spa Samui in Koh Samui.
Yeah.
And when I was there, I get a bit shocked because I didn't know anything about fasting, anything about health. I knew a lot. I realized staying there about 10 days, I realized that I didn't know anything about life.
Yeah.
So that was a shock, that to see that you don't eat, you survive, you feel much better, you sleep better. Everything was much, say, richer, much fulfilling. And I said, wow, this is interesting. And then there was a lady over there, a Japanese lady, some kind of professor. She told me that, a guest, she told me, yeah, you're a nice guy, why don't you learn a lot of things about life? I said, yeah, why not? And she gave me a list, how to breathe, how to chew, how to go here and there, how to walk. So I had, since I was retired, early retired, so
Relearning how to live.
So 10 days in a month,
Yeah.
I spent different places. I went to chewing courses. They give you a bucket full of pumpkin seeds, so you put in one in your mouth and you chew it that 40 times with closed eyes. You take another one, so you do that 3 days in a row. So you learn how to chew and get connected with your food. And I was reading, say, training about 21 days, and did all this type of things. And after 2 years of experiencing different corners of the world, as I said, wow, nobody knows how to live. So that should be interesting to start a company where you try to teach people how to live. That was the idea. And the company started 2005 in Turkey, in Bodrum. So we still have the first site. So it was a kind of journey for me in the beginning, a kind of family and friends place for healing, and I was happy. Somehow UK TV came over, and they did a series about, say, embarrassing diseases or something like that. They stayed 15 days. They filmed every day the participants, how they change, how their body changed, how their problems disappeared, etc. After that, it was not family and friends anymore. Everybody who saw that we had something like that, they wanted to come. So it became a kind of center of healing. And then we tried to bring it. I love Thailand, so we tried to bring it in different corners of the world, and Thailand was my first choice. And now we are here, and we are trying to learn how things are working in this part of the world. We have been almost 15 years in Turkey, Bodrum. Here is we are about 45 years.
Yeah.
So the idea was started like a kind of different holiday, and it shaped to a kind of 360-degree holistic approach. Yeah, that's how it started. And we added on all the time, like for example, we were focusing on physical wellness in the beginning. But after 1 or 2 years, we realized if you don't have mental wellness, it doesn't help. You eat whatever perfect food, but still you are out of shape. Mind, I mean, when it comes to mind, physical body, everything.
You can still manifest disease.
Yeah,
you can still have it. Yeah.
And stress is a big thing. And then we also added other items like IVs, etc., because we realized that people is in rush. So if I come and tell you, okay, you can get rid of your whatever disease you have in 8 months, if you keep yourself clean, mentally healthy, etc., you say, oh, it's too long. So to shorten it, we said, okay, let's do some kind of speeding up issues, treatments. So we introduced IVs like, say, high-dose vitamin C and other IVs, ozone therapy, so clinical therapies, which is, they're called alternative, but in my eyes, they are the original ones. Today, I mean, if you go back to when you talk about modern medicine, so medicine started with Hippocrates, and his first recipe was sage tea. So the modern medicine started with exactly with the herbs. So where we are, it's not medicine, it's a kind of commercial product.
Yeah.
And whatever they call it alternative, it was the original product.
Yeah.
So that's a kind of, say, mismatch in this world because of commercial setup. I do understand that you have some kind of pressure on EBITDA, earning money, doing that and that, commercial, say, drives. So you end up with something which is a product, it's good to sell, but you don't know what will be the outcome.
It's not sustainable.
I mean, sustainable, exactly. Unique to this place, for example. You opened our discussion why to come to such a place for drinking water. Normally we are into an environment. We cannot focus. If you look to today, people's attention span, it's so tiny. It's almost same as fish.
Yeah.
So a few seconds. So we need to come out.
We want stimulus constantly.
Yeah, we need to come into a kind of world where we are in a kind of, say, environment which is prepared and set up for the purpose. This is a place you can slow down. You can slow down your brain. You can slow down your eating. You can slow down whatever you do in a hurry. And then you get a feeling, wow, this makes a difference. That's the idea of this place. To make you aware, to make you say, wow, this is making a difference. When you know that, then hopefully we think that you can bring home because you benefited, you have an end result, so you know what's good for you. And hopefully you can pick up at home bit by bit, introduce into your life. That's exactly what I did. I started with 10 days fasting, and then I said, wow, this is good. And then I did 2 months of vegan diet, and then another 10 days of fasting. I said, wow, I was a totally new person. I lost 18 kilos. So I said, wow, this really works. Since then, 2002 September, I keep this pace. I keep, say, I mean, life is like that. You just perform. You do a very late night, etc., and then you need to recover.
Balance.
You have a very hectic time to deliver a project, then you need to recover. You have a stressful moment because somebody in your family having a trouble, then you need to recover. So you need to learn how to perform and recover. And it could be food, it could be alcohol, it could be whatever it is. It could be mental stress. You stress your body. I mean, even food stresses the body.
We have digital stress now.
Yeah, digital stress is a bigger problem because, you know, when you look, I'm coming from digital world, so my background is telecoms and media. So when you look to the digital side, it's even worse because, you know, the number of stimulus, signals, which, you know, every person works with a simple logic. You get signals, triggers, you can't do anything about that. You have something called reference frame, which is already built first 5, 6, 7 years of your life. That reference frame is the way you read your triggers, and then you release a hormone to tell the body how do you read your world, your situation. And that moment, only that moment, you have a chance to be part of this process, this flow. If you can follow your hormone, if you can feel the change, that's based on your mindfulness. If you are mindful, then you feel the chemical changes in your body. If you don't, you are reactive to the life. So you are reacting to whatever happens in the world. That's the biggest problem with digitalization. You have millions of triggers, and we call it justified stress versus unjustified stress. Like, for example, reading something in Twitter.
We have justified reactions. You react, and then you say, that
we
person
call
made
it-
me angry.
we call it
Now I did
action.
this. Yeah,
We call it action. If you make a decision
yeah,
to say something or act, but if you react, it's an autopilot way of reacting. That's a reaction. That's not healthy.
course.
That will build up a kind of mental stress, and you will not be happy with the outcomes, and it will go on like that. So that's why even eating, emotional eating. So what happens? You eat, then you feel the stress, and you're not happy. You get depressed, and then whatever it is. So that's why, I mean, when I was born 1956 and until 1970, I was 72, 73. You know, I was a member of a society which was very slow. Mother cooked at home, and we met maybe per year 50 new people. Now I meet a week 50 new people. By that time I traveled maybe, say, 500 kilometers per year. Now I travel 500 kilometers per day. So everything has speeded up and become more and more. And then what you need to learn how to survive. So that's why I say it's a technique you need to learn here, how to eat, how to survive in this type of complexity. The 21st century is very complex society, especially for the ones who is in life in big cities, etc. If you are a farmer and you are, out somewhere, of course you are not part of that complexity if you are not in the Facebook 24 hours or 3. But if you are in the, say, this type of society, me and you are in, we need to learn how to survive. And it's a big deal. There are, I find ways of surviving easily.
Well, we have mechanisms, but we need to learn the right ones, and we need to
And
unlearn
also,
some of the old
learning
ones.
is, all these things are, it starts with insight. Like I said, wow, that's an insight. I got an idea.
Paradigm shift.
That's an idea.
Yeah.
But then, to make it a kind of internalization, making it a kind of way of living, I need to do maybe 2 years gradually conversion from 80% eating useless stuff down to 20. Now I'm 90-10. I eat 90% healthy, 10% unhealthy.
Yeah.
But it took time.
Yeah.
Also mentally, it's worse. Like now I'm trying to learn how to lose.
How to what?
How to lose your wallet, how to lose your watch, how to lose your, how to drop your phone and get it, glasses crashed, etc. That's a big thing, you know. I'm trying 2 years now. It's very difficult because the program is so solid there, based on not losing, collecting and not losing.
Yeah, very good concept.
So now, I mean, food is easy. You can change within 2 months. It's easy. Mind is, wow, it takes. Like, mind-wise, I always say, learn validation. That's easier. Validate the other part. So make him comfortable being, communicating, interfering with you. That's okay. That's maybe takes 6 months. But other things, like radical acceptance, takes maybe 2 years, 3 years, 5 years.
Unless there's a shock, right?
Even the shock,
sometimes people
you see, shocks are even, those are doesn't helpful. It gives you an idea that training, you know, rewiring your hardware.
But if the shock tells you that maybe because we're so hardwired, what we're doing is wrong. But
you see, shocks puts you in a stress. I agree. So you try to solve your problem.
Yeah.
We call those people wounded healers. If they have a problem and solve it, they can become the best healer because they know exactly what you feel.
Yeah.
If they are taught they haven't had the problem, they are not so useful. A lot of people goes to university and learns a lot, but they can't have the compassion,
same empathy,
etc. with the other part. They know the theory, but the practical life, for example, I give you an example to finish this.
Yes.
I had a friend, he recovered from being alcoholist. So every time I went to a restaurant, he was just screaming out, I want to have 2 sparkling water. I said, what kind of person is this? I know this guy, he was normal, etc. I couldn't solve this. And one day I asked one of my friends, who was alcoholic also, he said, oh, that's easy, because he doesn't want to hear the question of what would you like to drink. So that's so simple, huh? Yeah. So I know so much, I'm graduated here and there.
Yeah, this is a paradigm shift.
I can't understand,
like that.
But that guy could because he was an alcoholic
But
himself.
You were judging him in a different way.
I didn't understand. Even I don't judge, I don't understand.
Yeah. Very nice, thank you.
Thank
so
you.
Much. Could I finish on one other question?
Yeah, please do so.
How did you find, I know that you said you started with a certain vision and then the team just grew. How did you find this incredible staff that you have here and that are obviously traveling around? Because if you want to mention a couple of the I mean, you have so many superstars there, so how difficult ones that you have.
I do understand your question. The thing is, you know, when you, nowadays, a lot of people have interest of curing themselves and giving away health. So we get weekly, maybe hundreds of people who says, oh, I want to do something around this, etc. So we try to give them a chance. We say, okay, if you are really committed, I first tell them this is not easy. Please don't do it if you really don't mean it. But if they mean it, you can see, okay, let's give them a chance. And then, for example, we had Sebastian is working with us. He's maybe number 49 in the role he's in. And 40 of them just disappeared because they can't cope with the pressure that people puts here. Because you see, you are less fragile. But think about somebody comes with cancer or somebody coming with pressure on himself, like herself, like getting married about 2 weeks, and she wants to go into the wedding dress, and she's 2 size too much, and then she has difficulty to lose weight. That's pride.
Take it over.
That Sebastian must help, or the guy. So you need to have a lot of passion.
Everyone 2-3 days into fasting can be that person trying to fit in the wedding dress in their own mind anyway as well. You know, there's a lot of emotions going on.
So that's why it's very important when we get good people here, if they stay long, then they know how to.
I think that's an interesting point. I'll finish on my questioning with a statement actually of something that I found incredibly a nice revelation, which I wasn't expecting. Like I said, normally people associate detoxing by going somewhere and laying down and being on your own and don't have any friends. I've even seen websites that tell you be prepared to just be alone. And it was so inclusive here. I walked in, the staff were very friendly, but the other people that are here, the other guests, we're all getting up at 7 in the morning. We go to the beach together. We talk. We share experiences. I actually believe that it's the kind of place that even with the villas that you can also rent around here, you can travel with friends and make sure that your whole family is learning these incredible, powerful tools. Because if you go home on your own and try to share it, everybody knows what it's like when you come up with a new diet and you want someone else to, or a new lifestyle. It actually helps to do it as a group. And Jasmine and I did it as a couple. And it was the most powerful thing we could have done.
Yeah. I agree with you because we have been experiencing this.
Yeah.
You see, the best healers are the people who did it before you 1 day, 2 days, because they tell you exactly how they felt 2 days before.
Yeah.
Or you have a group of people and they act together. So that's why we say, if you are going to do this type of exercise, you should have an ambition, not only 1 day correction, a week correction. It should be a lifestyle change step. And then, like you say, we have, for example, this week or last week, we had in Bodrum 6 corporate members, 6 people, management from a company. They do water fasting.
Yeah, amazing.
And that's amazing. We can see how they are tied together, how they connect each other. And you can see most likely their turnover or whatever will go up because they are more tied up. They
really
struggle together.
Yeah, that's the corporate side. Is incredible. Sorry, one more question. I know you have to leave. I'm so sorry.
No, please go ahead.
How would you describe the difference between the center here and in Bodrum? Because I realized here, for example, I had a very ancient medicinal Thai massage with Master Singh, which was absolutely incredible. So that's obviously something that you've made quite local. There's something that's available here. And how is it different?
I mean,
in that regard? Or do they travel both?
That part doesn't matter so much because we have Thai massage even in Bodrum.
In Bodrum as well. Okay.
But the difference mainly comes when it comes to complexity of using the, say, medical treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have Dr. Lodi here.
Yes.
He's a kind of experimental medicine person, so he really makes, say, cutting-edge trials with all this stuff of it. And in Bodrum, we have more anti-aging, more, say, less complex disease focus. Here is high complex disease focus, so we call it compliance. Here is high compliance. The people who comes here must be ready for more.
Sure.
If they really make a difference, make a difference in their life. In Bodrum, it's easy.
You have the whole integrated approach with people like Tenzin as well and Dr. Phil.
Same thing in Bodrum.
Yeah.
The only difference is customers a bit, clients or guests,
different outcomes
a bit
what they're looking for.
having comes with different targets.
Sure. Okay. Thank you again so much.
You.
I wish we could talk longer.
Yeah.
Very nice to meet you.
I'm so happy to see you. I'm so
Thank
happy
you.
Thank you very
did a
much.
good
It's been fantastic.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Where do you live normally?
Switzerland.
Wow.
Yeah, 15 years in London where we met, 13 years ago, and now the last 2 years in Switzerland.
I was last week in Switzerland too. A friend of mine lives in Lugano.
Yes.
He wanted to start there.
We were there last week.
LifeCo. It was so difficult
Oh.
over there. I told him, don't waste your money here. Everything is so difficult. Too much regulation, rules, and everything is expensive to put together. I said, do it in a warmer space.
Yeah, and then the Swiss can just drive
I
over
mean,
the
bits and
border.
pieces works. I was in first Lugano, then Davos.
Yeah.
Around Davos, we had with my daughter skiing. And,
They're a little difficult to get to. I think you need to be closer to Zurich, perhaps like Bad Ragazzi. It's not.
When
The
you
Swiss
do
ones
this
are
type of
amazing.
things, I mean, I've been around the world, almost all kind of places. I love this type of simplicity.
Yeah.
I love you are in nature, you can touch the nature. In Switzerland, I was invited to do something like that. I don't know what part of Switzerland it was. So the municipality called me in if I could help them set up a center for specially focused on diabetes. They
Yeah.
had a
And the
big
highest in the
problem
world,
with
no?
they had a big problem with diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
But I told them this will not work because you will put people in a kind of say building at least 8 months of the year because of the weather is cold. And then, if they...
Unless you spend an absolute fortune in building in
It's
city.
so difficult.
Yeah.
They try to build a nice spot, but if you go to the sauna and you have to change before you go to the room, I mean, everything takes about half an hour. Here, you can go to the sauna, make your sauna,
You
and
walk
you
out.
didn't even take a shower.
Yeah.
Go back and take a shower in your room. So it works very easy. Same thing in Bodrum. But when you are in the Davos, it's -1 or 10 plus. So you need to be, I mean, a bit in close circle. Like you say, you can create a heaven, indoor heaven. But that's costly and it's
Yeah.
not worth.
And it's artificial and it's not
It's
for everyone.
also it's a lot of money. I mean, carbon,
Yeah.
everything is.
Yeah. You've been to Bad Ragaz?
Sorry?
Bad Ragaz? It's like a wellness spa.
No.
They do a lot of things there. Because we work with a lot of hotels. We're part of Swiss Deluxe, so we do a lot of things with over 40 hotels. That's
It
why we were
makes
at the
sense to
Splendid last
collaborate
week at the
with
Lugano.
the hotel instead of
But,
building a new one.
the Bad Ragaz, sorry?
It would make sense to collaborate with a place like that
Yeah,
instead
you
of building
put,
a new
yes,
one.
that's it. You put it
Yeah.
in Bad Ragaz.
Yeah.
That's what you do. But they have huge terminal spas because the natural spa is very famous around the mountain. And they trap the water from there, and it's got a great story.
Yeah, but another thing maybe.
But it's a 12-kilometer site that's
And
built.
chef,
That's
Sven
the
Wasser
The problem
is
with
also big.
you see when
100
I do
million.
these things, I say the number one priority that you should do some kind of your guests should benefit.
The business of this would be probably too much.
Number one is benefit.
Yeah,
Number two is that you should be
profitable.
surviving.
Yeah,
Not profitable, but at least you shouldn't lose
survive.
money.
Yeah, well that's
And
business.
number
so
three,
that'll be hard.
people working with you should be happy
It's a good one.
what they are doing. So when I go to this type of commercial places, after an hour